Today, I am here with Danny Perez. Excited to be here because he has scaled his business this year from zero to $30,000 a month in revenue. He's another YouTuber, which I love connecting with. And we're going to teach you two things. One, we're going to teach you how he specifically goes about and picks his products. And also, we're going to talk about how he gets reviews using Instagram because I'm impressed with what he's built in these last, just this year. He started at the very beginning of January. I don't want to take the words out of his mouth because his story's good. His story's very good. Danny, tell us a little bit about you, and then let's break into your Instagram game because
absolutely,
I think it's awesome. I saw a video of his on how he did this, and I think we're gonna really go into it here.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about it, but just a little bit about myself. My name is Danny. I reside in Northern California. Like you said, Are you from Northern California as well?
No, I'm actually in Los Angeles right now.
Yeah, well, I'm repping the Dodger hat here.
I saw.
You're a Dodger fan, but yeah, man, I started Amazon FBA in January. Started my my whole journey, and it's been going really well for me. I got about 3 products right now, doing close to $10,000. But let's talk about that Instagram thing because.
So hold it. Before we do that, I'm curious. What would you say the one biggest thing that's made you successful on Amazon? You only got to pick one.
Only got to pick one. Dude,
only one.
Perseverance.
What?
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Perseverance, man. Because there's gonna be one thing I always tell people is it's Amazon FBA is, in my opinion, very glamorized right now, and on how easy it is. Dude, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Come in prepared, and if you don't have that right mindset, it's just not gonna happen. There's gonna be.
I'll be honest, dude. I was hoping for some hack, man. What's that? What's the hack?
No, dude. There's no hack. It's just hard work here. But no, this is kind of, I guess you would say, a hack because a lot of people don't know about it. But basically, I preach a lot in my videos to build a brand, and not only just on Amazon, but build it on social media platforms. So I'm on Instagram. I'm on Pinterest. You can do your Facebook page too. But let's specifically, like you said, let's talk about Instagram and how I'm using polls to get reviews. So basically, I am building a brand page for my Instagram. A lot of people think that they're supposed to be doing it on their personal page. Don't do it on your personal page, okay? Create a separate brand page for your product and try to work with influencers. That's what's kind of put me on the map. That's what's kind of generated the most traffic. That's how I was able to get the most followers, is working with influencers. And you basically just got to contact a whole bunch of them, okay? It's not the easy work. It's not fun work. Contact a bunch of them. You only need maybe 2 to 3 to say yes to you. And after that, it's much easier to get others on board because they see that you've worked with other people, okay? But basically, once you build that following working with influencers, you can actually launch a poll on, if you guys are not familiar with Instagram, you can go on your stories and you can launch a poll. And what I like to do is ask, hey, how are you liking my product? Or do you have my product? Or give us some opinions on our product. And you're going to get people that vote yes and that vote no. And basically everybody that votes yes or leads, you can actually, obviously they bought your product and they have your product, they're organic purchases already because you work with influencers and built your brand on Instagram. So what I do is I actually contact them via DM, just like my auto email responder. Yeah, man, I know it's pretty crazy.
I just thought of a really great idea. Keep going.
All right, let me finish this and you can tell me then. So I contact them just like my auto email responder and say, thank you so much for your business. We appreciate you. We mean the world to us if you leave an honest review. And people are a lot more responsive on Instagram versus the email. So a lot of them end up converting.
Okay. This is the first time we are discussing this on this channel, but let's walk through this idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Putting links on your product inserts, it's definitely gray hat. Depends what you're putting it there for.
Right.
But on the product insert, we put a link to our Instagram. We give something away. We're doing like a big giveaway, some kind of product launch. Tell them we give them 50% off when we launch new products, whatever it is, something awesome.
Yes.
Get them to follow us on Instagram.
Right.
And then we incentivize them to get them to our Instagram. And then we go ahead and we do this strategy right here.
Right.
We know that they bought our product. We didn't incentivize reviews at all. I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
we incentivize getting them the Instagram, and then we can reach out to our actual customers on Instagram and be like, hey, man, we're doing this. That is awesome. Okay.
That is another way, dude. It's just the polls gives you it gives you the handles of basically everyone who has your product. So they're warm leads already.
That's perfect. And for those of you listening, like when you ask people to review your product, which is totally within terms of service, as long as you're not begging them for a 5-star review, right? You can ask them, hey, man, do they review?
Exactly.
You want to ask the people you know are going to leave you 5 stars.
Exactly. And that's why I make because the influencer already talked well about your product. They talked it up. The people who buy it from the influencer are already hyped up because the influencer that they were following talked good about it. So yeah, all of them, most of them, 90% of them are going to be 4 or 5 stars. Easy.
Got it. Okay, I'm coming with some ideas for my own business here. New products I'm launching.
I mean, people are just launching, doing giveaways, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with giveaways if you have the pockets for it and you don't mind giving away that many units. But I just feel like there's so many other ways to do it. Like you can implement this in your launch strategy and actually build a brand in the process versus just giving away so many units and then landing on page 1. And who knows, you might just drop off of it later, and you have nothing else to bring you back up.
The longer I'm doing this, the more I'm like, you really need to have a strategy for reviews on your launch day, exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to get them. You've got to get those. The first 10 are just like critical.
Oh,
so
yeah.
critical.
Super critical. Yeah, absolutely. That's
0 to 10 are as important as 10 through 100, in my opinion. Like,
yeah,
maybe not really, but
no, but I see what you mean. It's like, those first, it's because it's so hard to get reviews when you're at like 0. Like nobody's gonna want to buy. No one's gonna just like an empty listing that nobody wants to touch. So yeah, those first 10, I totally agree with you. They're critical.
This is why I bring people on the channel. It's a little selfish because I learn a lot, guys. But let's talk a little bit about how you pick products. I always love hearing this strat. What do you do, man? First of all, can I launch products like baby diaper caddies and gold rim cups, like gold rim cups and stuff? I mean, can I do that?
Like launching it on Instagram?
No, I was just trying to throw out some niches that are super saturated right now. Ignore that comment. Let's talk about how you pick products.
Okay, just picking products, man. Honestly, my favorite way to do it is actually, I don't know if you're familiar with this, is actually typing in just random words in the Amazon search bar. Have you ever heard of that one?
I've heard of it, and I've never had success. I've been using Viral Launch.
Okay, so that's I use all the methods. That one for me has been the most successful one, just because it's always changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's always changing, and I feel like you use like the web app for it, like Viral.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The problem, and there's ways to do this to get around this too, but I see a lot of people just doing the exact same thing, like putting in the exact same criteria.
Yep.
Gives you the same products, and everyone is looking at the same thing, so you're going to get into an oversaturated market, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, like, if you're going to use the web app, make sure you're putting in like unique parameters. Like, you need to think outside the box when you're putting in your parameters. But for me, that's been how I picked 2 out of 3 of my products. Has been the Amazon search bar method, and literally just sitting there and typing in, like, it's pretty boring, but like just typing in different combination of words, letters.
Pull out the dictionary.
Yeah, pull out a dictionary. Yeah.
Hey babe, what's your favorite color?
Exactly. And I like it because it's always changing, so you're always seeing like different things. You know what I mean?
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
How many hours did you spend to find that very first product?
That very first product, dude, I kid you not. And a lot of it was just because I was getting like analysis paralysis. Like, like when you're first getting into it, you're just kind of scared.
Were you you were like 14 years old when you started looking, and now you just launched it?
Exactly. Yeah. I honestly put in maybe 4 or 5 hours a day for a good month and a half.
Persistence. Damn, you were so right.
Yeah, persistence, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, because like everybody, there's a lot of videos like saying that how to find a $100,000 product in 30 seconds or something like that, and it's just it's just not true, man. Like, I'm not saying that you can't ever scale your business to $100,000. Like, I know a lot of people who are doing that. It's just just takes work, man. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, I do. So what makes, so let me give you some insight. Like when I come to pick out products, I'm just, the reason why I think I've been successful is I'm good at being creative and like thinking outside the box. And I'm like, dude, nobody ever thought, like right now I'm launching a product. I was going to spend like $1,000. I'm probably spend like $3,000 to launch a product.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it because no, it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist, but it easily could. Okay, that's not a bad example. So I'm really good at being creative. I don't know what's your like. This is why Danny's the best.
Honestly, it's dude. It's always thinking outside the box. It's just like you, dude. We're like two peas in a pod here. But not only just being creative in your product itself, but it's like how can I, like, what other ways can I get my product out? Like everybody wants to just like, obviously being on page one on Amazon is going to get you a ton of exposure, but like there's a ton of attention and people who are actually shopping on other platforms too. You know what I mean? So thinking outside the box like that, like how can I get my product in front of the most people's eyes? But yeah, you have to be creative in your product itself also, whether it's your photos, your description, your title, the color of your product. Like, and you have, like, I don't know if you do this, dude, but I go and read all the negative comments of my competitors. Like that's basic that, like, you know, it's just a little extra step that not a lot of people, I don't know why.
I order almost all my competitors. I have one product market I've been in for a while. I have 6 or 7 competitors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you should be like, just read the negative comments and capitalize on top of that. And it's like, now why aren't people gonna, like, why wouldn't people pick you, like, if you're capitalizing on your competitors' weaknesses, you know?
A lot of times the most I learn on Amazon is the more time I spend on it. Half the time I learn stuff when I get on calls with students, I'd be like, wow, dude, this person did such a really good job on this specific part of their listing. I'm like,
yeah,
I need to do that. And it's just because I'm looking at other listings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You do learn a lot. Yeah, I've learned a lot from a lot of the students that I've been on calls with too. It's just like, yeah, you almost like you learn from your students.
So one last thing, could you tell us the name of your brand so we can go buy their product?
Absolutely not, my man.
I'm kidding, dude. I ask everybody just for shits and giggles.
You almost had it.
I almost had it, dude. I'd edited it out. Maybe. Nah, I would have. Okay, dude, this has been Danny. Go check out his channel. I'll put a link specifically to his video on his Instagram game in order to get those reviews. I think what you guys should be learning from this video is the perseverance. 4 to 5 hours a day for a month and a half. But now this guy's selling $30K a month, and he's making more money than anybody at a day job I know. So I'm so happy you came on, man. We might do some more of these, and we at least need to stay in touch.